Welcome to episode 17 of the Tough Draw Talks podcast. I am your host, Brad Hughes. Today, we are coming to you live from the floor of Cowboy Christmas at the Las Vegas Convention Center for the 2021 NFR. Stetson Frost of the Lane Frost brand, second floor, booth 222, has been gracious enough to let us crash here for a little bit. Today, we're sitting down with Aussie Ky Hamilton. Appreciate you being along for the ride. Ky, we're excited to be here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain being in Vegas.
Oh, yeah? So this is your first time in Vegas, right?
Yes, sir. First time in Vegas for the NFR. I've been here before for some smaller events, but this first time for the NFR and with the Cowboy Christmas and that, and it sure is an eye-opener.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what's been the most shocking thing you've seen in Vegas so far?
The skyscrapers, like the big hotels and casinos and stuff. Like, I've never been anywhere like that in Australia that has anything like this, and I mean that in itself something. And all the people you see come out here for the NFR, like it's literally like a cowboy town.
It's awesome, isn't
it? Yeah, it's amazing.
So my wife got to come out for the first time this year, and that was one of the first things she said. Is she talked about how, you know, the buildings, they're so big. Like, yeah. It doesn't look that big. And even just with something like this, like we're at the Westgate, and it's like, oh, the convention center's right over there, and it's like, it's a long walk.
Yeah.
Because it's a long way away because of how big everything is.
That's for sure.
Well, cool, man. Well, we appreciate you jumping on. I know we've talked about doing this for a while. Glad we were able to do that. We like to just kind of kick it around with some icebreaker type questions. So if you could meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
They actually asked me this question. Tough Hedeman every year posts videos of the top 15 guys making the NFR, and they asked me this question, and I said Lane Frost. If I could meet him and just talk to him about bull riding, that'd be awesome. I mean, I've been fortunate to talk to a lot of guys that traveled with him, and I'd just like to pick his brains about it.
Heck yeah, man. No, that's been so cool for us. It's cool you're sitting here in the Lane Frost booth, but leave it to Tough to steal our thunder on asking questions. I actually think we have another one on here that Tough asked too, but what's your favorite movie and why?
Tombstone, actually.
There you go.
Yeah. Doc Holliday, that's a pretty cool character.
Yeah.
So I'd have to say that's my favorite movie.
That's awesome. What else, hobby-wise, what do you do aside from bull riding?
I enjoy riding horses and doing ranch kind of stuff. Anything to do with cowboy stuff, roping, riding horses. I love doing that kind of thing.
So I need you to help us kind of settle this debate here. We've asked several people about this because I know that there's some bull riders that can't even ride a horse. So do you think being able to ride a horse helps with bull riding?
I definitely think it does for sure. When I told my dad I wanted to start riding bulls and stuff like that, like Mom and Dad had a house in town, so I wasn't able to just go out and ride a horse every day. But I was fortunate that all Dad's side of the family have small ranches and stuff back home in Australia, and they all have horses and everything like that. And Dad said, well, if you're going to ride, you're going to learn to ride a horse first, and because if you can't ride a horse, you're going to have hell trying to ride a bull. So my uncle, he's a horse trainer and breaks in horses and stuff like that. So when I was on school holidays, I'd go spend weeks with him riding horses, and I mean, I'd ride 4 or 5 horses a day, and it was good. We were outside all the time and just riding horses, and I enjoyed it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, what's been interesting, and we'll talk about this more later, but like, you know, with Bull Talk, Lane teaches you from the back of a horse bareback, right? So I've always wondered that, and we've asked a bunch of people because some people can't. Like, we had Cody Rostocki on, and Cody Rostocki didn't even want to ride at the Grand Entry when he was apart. So so the Grand Entry wasn't a problem for you, huh?
No. I mean, I get more nervous in the Grand Entry than when I'm getting on the bulls, just because I don't want to mess up. Because, I mean, if I mess up the whole deal because I'm first out, and everyone's got their eyes on you. But
are you the only Australian the
Yeah.
representative. So you were it.
Yep, I was it.
That's awesome, man. All right, so with Christmas coming up, what's Santa gonna bring you this year?
That's a good question. I don't know. I kind of got everything I need at the minute, but I was liking to buy a place somewhere in Texas after the NFR, so maybe he'll find me a good deal or something.
There you go. Yep. All right. What is the best compliment you've ever received?
Actually, the other night when I went to the buckle ceremony after round one, Joe Beaver come up to me and coming in this year to the NFR, I'd had some injuries and got pretty sick right at the end of the regular season, and I come back and won the first round, and Joe come up to me and he said, like, that inspires a guy like myself to see someone that's been injured and been out and just come up here and do their job and not make any excuses about it, and he said that meant a lot to him, and I mean, coming from him, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a legend in his own right, isn't it? That's pretty cool, man. What would you be doing if you didn't ride bulls?
I don't know. I really don't. Since I was 11, this is all I wanted to do, and a lot of people told me, you gotta have a plan B, you gotta have a plan B. I'm like, no, I'm gonna make plan A work. So I don't know what I'd be doing, but I'd definitely be doing something with riding horses and doing cowboy things.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, just a reminder, just to kind of reset, we're at the Cowboy Christmas at the Las Vegas Convention Center, so that's why you might hear some noise. We're actually recording live on the floor. So at the Lane Frost booth, y'all come by and get some stuff. Man, Ky, so you kind of alluded to it. You won round one. So this is your second trip to the NFR. You made it last year when it was in Arlington.
Yep.
What was that moment like for you? What was it like to win round one and get that gold buckle for the first time for a round win?
I was really disappointed after last year not winning the round. I had a lot of close opportunities and I let a few slip, and so I was bound and determined to get at least one this year, and hopefully I can get a few more. But that was awesome, especially first time at Thomas and Mack to win the round, and split the round, and it was with JB, and that guy I've idolized since I started riding and looked up to him, and I always wanted to be in a locker room with him.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to do that all this year, and to split around with him, that was just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I mean, you're not only in the locker room with him, but you get to share the stage with him at the buckle ceremony. That's,
yeah.
That's pretty awesome right there.
Yeah.
What about, I know James was telling you this earlier, but Lyndall Hurst, he's been a great friend of ours and has really helped along the way for us, and, helped. He was one of the catalysts to introduce us to Tough and different things like that. What was it like, for Lyndall? Was he pretty pumped? Like, did y'all talk about Rip and all that stuff?
Yeah, he was pumped up. Actually, the night before at the back number ceremony, when we seen the first round draw, I asked him about the bull because I couldn't remember what he was, and he showed me a video, and I'm like, damn, that's going to be a good one. And my buddy last year, he'd been on him twice, and so he'd give me a few insights on him and stuff. But yeah, Lyndall was pumped when we got to that back to the buckle ceremony. Yeah. He was so happy, so it was good. I mean, that's the cool thing about out here. When you do draw a bull, the contractors want you to ride him and win on him because they want a buckle too.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, man, heck yeah. So walk us through the ride a little bit. What do you remember about it? What is your shoot protocol like? Just kind of walk us through that moment for you.
I like to get in and out of there pretty quick, and that bully stood great in there and give me a good shot, and his timing felt good, but at the same time it kind of felt funny. But I just kept telling myself to keep getting a little tougher, and because Colton Fritzler, my buddy that had been on him last year, he said his timing will change up towards the end and kind of get you wanting to sit down, and then it'll get you into your hand if you're right-handed. And so I just wanted to stay moving, and I felt like I did that pretty good, and he did feel pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Was Colton right? Could you feel kind of a time change there at the end?
yeah, like at the start, it felt like he was blowing up underneath me, and then towards the end, he was doing that too, but he was kind of moving forward a little bit. And I know if I had got sat down, he probably would have given me hell. So, no, he felt pretty dang cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So the round win victory lap, what was that like? How did that feel?
Well, I was a bit late getting down to my victory lap horse, and JB and the flag girl were already heading out, and that horse was wanting to take off with them. And I only just got down in the saddle, and he's headed out there, and I mean, it's go fast in them victory laps. So it was pretty cool going around the arena like that. And no, it's something to do.
Were you all on the same horse?
No,
okay.
I'm glad.
Because I know
we
in the
had
past
one
they've
each.
done that.
Yeah.
And I've seen it be. It's kind of a comedy act sometimes.
Yeah, well, when I ran down the back, I could only see JB on his horse, and I couldn't see the other one behind him. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. He's beat me to the saddle. But then that other horse was there, and I'm like, oh, this won't be too bad.
There you go. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, getting into bull riding from Australia, the only representative here this year from Australia. Tell me a little bit about just bull riding in Australia, how you got into it. I know you alluded to it a little bit earlier, but just tell me a little bit about your backstory getting into it.
Well, like I said earlier, my dad and all his side of the family, they all rodeoed and everything like that, and I always wanted to. And my dad kept telling me no forever. He didn't really want me to ride, and then finally one day he said yes, and like I said, I went down to my uncle's place and started riding horses, and that town they lived in, Rockhampton, they had practice in there every Wednesday and Friday night, so I started off going in there practicing and stuff like that, and just kind of went on from there, just junior rodeoing at home and doing some junior high school rodeos and that kind of thing, and just the circuits around there. I mean, there's not a whole lot of events on. It's way different over here. Like, we're lucky to go to one event a weekend, and every now and again we can do 2 or 3. So we're kind of limited in how much we can ride, so we kind of have to practice a lot to get them bulls underneath us and to get better. And so I did that, and there was bull riding schools. Dad would take me to them, and that way then I could ride more stock and that, and because he just wanted to get the stock under me and get my numbers up and that. And so I did that for a few years, and then when I really started getting serious about it, when I was about 14, Dad knew Troy Dunn, the 1998 PBO world champion. He's the only world champion from Australia, and I looked up to him a lot, and I was fortunate to only live like 45 minutes away from him. So when I was 14, 15, I started going to his place and practicing and talking with him and stuff like that, and he helped me out a lot and really furthered my riding quite a bit. So went on from there, and then I come over here when I was 15 for junior high school finals, and then again when I was 17 for some youth bull riding finals, and I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship with CJ Aragon, and that's how it all started over here.
Very cool. So once you got the scholarship after coming over here a couple times, that's kind of what helped you make the decision to make the jump and come overseas?
Yep, I always wanted to come over here, but I didn't know quite how to go about getting started, and I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship and go to college, and it dang sure made it easier. Like, got a place to stay and food and that kind of thing, and kind of got a base. And I was able to meet a lot of people, and college rodeo, and then also pro rodeo. So you go to school a couple of days a week, and then go to some pro rodeos, and you can do the college rodeos also and work them in together. So that was kind of the stepping stone, and it helped out a lot. I'm sure made things easier getting started over here.
For sure. And that's really cool. I know, I grew up in West Texas, and so I knew a lot of Australians that went over to Snyder, Texas and stuff. And just hearing different people's stories, especially some of the older guys that were some of the first people, the first ones to kind of come over and try to do that, commit full time. James and I have actually done an interview with Dave Appleton as well.
Yeah.
So, and that, hearing him kind of talk about it was pretty cool. So,
yeah.
So that's awesome. What is it? Rodeo is its own community within itself, but how does it work with people that have come, like Australians, for example? Like, is it almost even like a secondary community, or how does that work?
Yeah. I met Dave Appleton for the first time actually the week before I come out here, and talking to him about it and stuff like that. Like, there has been quite a few Australians come over here, and they all seem to help you out one way or another, like with taxes and that kind of thing, and entering and knowing where to go and stuff like that. So it's good having all them older guys that have been over here before and kind of help me out and show me the ropes a little bit. So
for sure,
it's, and shoot, you always got your mates there, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so Larry Barker, he was somebody that helped you out a lot when you came over here, right?
Yeah.
So what's it been like watching him with Whoopah and all that? How cool is that?
That's pretty cool. I remember I went to a bull riding in Las Cruces, New Mexico that he was putting on, and that was the first time I met him, and I think I won second or third there, and he said, you keep riding like that and you're going to win a lot more money. And when I went to school in Sol Ross in Alpine, Texas, he'd send us practice bulls all the time, and great practice bulls to get on, and that helped us out a lot down there. And now to see him having success with Whooper, it's pretty cool, and I'm so happy for him, because I know a lot of people have tried offering him a lot of money for that bull, and he's turned it down. He's just enjoying it, and that's great to see.
So the funny thing is, Larry Barker is the first time I ever actually heard your name. So, with the movie with Tough Draw and different things that we've been doing, Lyndall's been a good friend of ours. He introduced us to Tom Baker, and he also introduced us to Larry Barker. We're going to pause for just a second. Just a reminder, we're at the Las Vegas Convention Center, Cowboy Christmas. So we're actually recording live from the floor at the Lane Frost booth. So if you hear ambient noise, that's what's going on. So we're just going to power through. But yeah, so Lyndall introduced us to Larry Barker, and we went and had lunch with him one day, and we were talking about the movie and stuff, and he told us about this kid from Australia.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, I think that Las Cruces event had probably just happened, because he was talking about how you did so well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he told me it's Ky Hamilton. I was like, okay, cool. But anyway, so that's really cool, and it's been awesome to see his success. That's I always cheer for good guys like that.
Yeah.
So, what is it about Whoopah that makes him so good in your eyes? Because you've never been on him, have you?
No, I haven't, but I dang sure hope I can. that bull, he's so just spectacular. Like, he leaps in the air, he kicks, he's got the intensity, and every time you see him, I think he gets better, and there's no other bull like him getting around. And a bull that's been rode as many times as he has, you'd think he would have thrown the towel in by now and quit bucking, but that goes to show how much heart he's got, and
that's a good point.
How much he does enjoy bucking. Yeah. That's an unbelievable animal, and like, people think about bull riding and stuff like that and how big them bulls are, and for one to be able to get off the ground and do the things that he does, like, that's something.
Yeah. Is Jose just a different breed? Is that why?
He's out of this world.
So
no, he's committed and focused, and that's why he does what he does. So.
Yeah. So you're right-handed, right?
Yep.
And Jose is left-handed. Boudreaux's left-handed. Dalton's left-handed. So I've heard that if you're left-handed, he has pretty good timing. It's just that he is super, like you're saying, athletic, powerful, all the things. How do you think you'd fare being right-handed?
Well, in honesty, I actually like them away from my hand a lot more.
Oh, there you go.
So I think it'd be a dream come true. I'd really like that, actually.
Next year,
cool.
if you're if you're at the PBR events and you get the short round, pick him.
That'll be first pick.
If you get first pick, pick him. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll have you back on as soon as you get off.
All right.
So that's an interesting dynamic. So PBR, PRCA, right? We're here at the PRCA, the NFR. Obviously, you've also ridden PBR. PBR has PBR Australia.
Yep.
They're doing the PBR teams thing next year and kind of changing up how they're doing stuff.
Yeah.
What is it about each association and kind of, what are some of the differences, but what are some of the things you personally look for when you're choosing an association?
For me, like the PRCA and it was mainly about the NFR. Like, that's where it all started, and everyone you've ever looked up to and watched in that older era all competed at the NFR, and that's where they won their world titles and everything like that. And so for me, that was something I always wanted to do, was to go to the NFR and do good there, because I know all the guys I watched and everything competed there. And then a lot of them guys ended up creating the PBR and that, and the money's over there is, I mean, it continues to get better, and I feel like if you want to ride ranked bulls day in, day out and win big money, I feel like that's where you have to go. And the rodeo, I mean, you still hit them ranked bulls, but it's not every single day, because you have different contractors at each event, and they have their own stock and that. So they got their ranked bulls, but their whole pen isn't full of 22 pointers. So that's kind of a difference there. And then, I mean, it's a lifestyle thing. Like, you can, like, I left out in July and didn't get home till the end of September. I was pretty much going to a rodeo every day. And so, I mean, you get to travel a lot and go to all them big rodeos like Pendleton and Cheyenne and Houston and all them ones that, like, just going to them is something to see, like, that you don't get to experience at the PBR. And so I feel like for me that was something I always wanted to do, is go to them events and do good at them and make the NFR, and then go to the PBR and do that, because, I mean, if you like getting on ranked bulls and winning big money, that's where you got to go. So
talk a little bit about how, like, the difficulty, I guess, like, because as you said, it's not like with the PRCA you have days off, but at the same time, not every bull is super ranked. Not every, it's probably a mix because you're traveling so much, and it's probably tolling that way. But, like, when it comes to just the physical demand, is one harder than the other?
I guess it depends how much you're getting slammed. But that is something. Like the PBR, you have like 4 to 5 days to get your body back feeling good, get your mind right, and then go again, because you are going to be hitting tough bulls when you get there. And so I feel like that does help a lot. And then with the rodeo on, it depends what you're drawing and how you're doing. Like, you might be drawing really good bulls and getting on them every day for a week. Or then you might get on a couple of them and then get some nicer ones. So they both, I mean, depends how good a shape you stay in, and as long as you're riding them and getting off good, you shouldn't get too sore rodeoing. And I feel like you kind of your body gets used to it riding all them bulls every single day, and I feel like that'd be the same thing with the PBR. Your body would get used to it, and you have that time to recover too. So
for sure. Well, that's cool. Yeah, and you talked about this a little bit. You've been going hard this year. You've been going with Stetson Wright this year.
Yeah.
What's that been like, and how crazy is it to watch him do 2 events, dang near every rodeo he goes to.
Yeah, I got really lucky getting to meet Stetson last year, and then we just hit it off. I can't even remember exactly when we started going together, but we did at the end of last year, and then we went all together this year, and that guy's so good, and there's a reason for it. His attitude's the best. I've never been around someone that's got as good an attitude as him. There's never a moment in a day where he's down or got a bad attitude about anything. Like, he's always bright and got a positive attitude towards everything, and I feel like that's why he wins so much is he loves what he does, and he's not going to waste a minute thinking about something that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that carries over into his riding, and to see him do 2 events and excel as good as he does in them 2 events, that's awesome to travel with. And I get fired up watching him in the bronc riding, because it is dang sure good watching, and it's something else.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. So just to reset here, we are at the Las Vegas Convention Center, Cowboy Christmas, at the Lane Frost booth with Ky Hamilton. We've got we're recording live, so if you're hearing some noise in the background of music and different things like that, we're just continuing to power through. So when you and I met, we were in Cheyenne, and we were filming for the Lane documentary, and you were with Stetson, and lo and behold, we did that interview, and then danged if you didn't go win Cheyenne. Talk a little bit about that. I know when we sat down, you had talked about how much that rodeo means and different things like that. Just kind of elaborate on that and tell us what that win meant for you personally, and kind of what it meant to your season.
Yeah. Well, I had hip surgery earlier in March, and they kind of told me 3.5 to 4 months I'd be out for. And so at the time, it was like, okay, well, it'll probably be around Cheyenne that I'll be coming back. And that whole time, I wanted to do good when I come back, and I had seen Stetson's Cheyenne saddles, and I dang sure wanted one of them. And so, I mean, the whole time I was out, that's all I thought about was winning Cheyenne and getting one of them saddles. And I ended up coming back earlier and riding at the start of July, and I had been having a bit of heck and didn't start off the way I wanted to and everything like that. But when I got to Cheyenne, it was like I'd been there before and I'd already won it, and it was like all the pressure on my shoulders making the NFR and all that, it felt like all that just went away. And when I got to that arena, that was the first time I'd been there, and I don't know, there was a different feeling about it, and I don't even get that feeling at the NFR, and just the history with it and everything like that. And when I got there, it just felt like everything just changed, and everything started looking up from there. And
that's great.
And in the short round, I think I was like the second guy out, and I was 89, and I didn't think it was going to hold up. I thought for sure one of them other guys was going to win it, and I ended up winning it. And walking up on that stage, seeing that buckle and that saddle, and then doing the victory lap in that arena, that's probably the coolest thing ever in my life at this point. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So, and not only that, but you and Stetson both walked away with saddles too.
Yeah, we cleaned house out of there. I think, well, he ended up with 2 saddles, and
yep.
I had mine, so the camper was pretty dang full there for a week. His brother Statler ended up meeting us at a rodeo in Utah, and we give him all them saddles because we were running out of room in the truck.
Send them home with him?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So, Cheyenne, hallowed ground, the Lane documentary, obviously you don't have to go into the detail, but just general statement, what did Lane Frost mean to you? You talked about him being somebody that you would want to meet, dead or alive. What does Lane Frost mean to you? What is that?
Growing up watching the movie 8 Seconds and watching interviews of Lane and all that kind of thing, I feel like he had the same mentality as Stetson. Like, reminds me a lot of that. Always happy and always looking at the bright side of things, and he had time for everybody. Like, to be as good as he was and then still have time for everybody, like, that just goes to show the kind of character and person he was. And when there's a world champion like that, you idolize that, and that's how you want to portray yourself. So I think he's had a big influence on probably everyone that stuck their hand in a bull rope, and that's awesome to still be here and see the things that he's done however many years later on that it's
over
been.
30 years later. Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. So again, we are at the Las Vegas Convention Center Cowboy Christmas with Ky Hamilton. Man, it's been awesome talking to you. We got a couple fan questions that we want to throw at you here.
Yep.
So Katrina, which I guess maybe this is a mom, but she says, any advice for Australians getting into the sport that dream of being at the NFR?
There's a few people in Australia that have a lot of good stock, and I feel like finding good stock to get started on, and working at it and doing well in Australia. And if you're doing well over there, well, then you know you're ready to come over here and take that next step and doing that. And I feel like the college deal is a great route to start out on. You get a feel for everything. You got a place to stay and work hard there, and then go to the PRCA, because that's another great way to get started, and rodeo, and then go on from there. Do whatever you want to do, and just you got to work hard, and you get homesick sometimes, and it just makes you want it more, and it makes you ask yourself how much you want it. So if you really want it, you'll find a way to make it work.
That's awesome. All right, so I think this Jazz asks, what are your top 5 bulls?
That's a tough one. My probably favorite bull is the bull I won Cheyenne on, because I won Cheyenne on him, and then I won Amarillo on him, and I won a lot of money on him, so that was Evil Intentions. He's probably my favorite bull for winning stuff, but...
is he here at the NFR?
He is, yeah.
He is?
Yep. I didn't get to draw. He was in the round tonight, but I didn't draw him.
Oh,
so
man.
Hopefully next round that he's out in. But Chiseled, Whooper, Bruiser, it's a shame he's retired. I'll never get a chance at that one. And Bushwhacker. I mean,
Bushwhacker, yeah.
That was an awesome bull to watch.
Yeah. Have you been on Chiseled?
I've been on him once last year, and he handed it to me. So I want some payback.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So Belinda asks, what's your favorite ride that you've ever had? Like your most memorable?
That's a tough one too. Probably last year at the PBR had a teams challenge in Las Vegas, and I got on a bull called Spotted Demon, and he was a world champion in the PRCA and had an outstanding record in the PBR, and a lot of people were scared of him, and I'd seen him and thought he was pretty dang cool, and I didn't know what to expect when the gate opened, but he barked hard, and I think I was 90 3/4 on him or something like that, but that's one that didn't get rode very often. A lot of guys were scared of him, so
for sure.
That was probably my favorite one.
That's awesome. So when you get on a rank one, like, what goes through your mentality? Like some of these, like Spotted Demon and any of these bigger ones that you know that they've got a really good record. Like, you know, what's your mentality? What do you think when you're on the back of them?
I'm really calm about things. I don't stress about anything.
I can't imagine that.
And I stay so relaxed, because I feel the more I stay relaxed, the better I move, and it's it's an offensive sport where you got to attack them, but at the same time you don't want to get ahead of them. And that's the thing with them ranked bulls. You get ahead of them and they get smart and they'll change it up and go back another way or something like that. And so, I mean, staying loose and calm about things I feel like that's a good way to go about it, because you know they're going to buck hard and there's no point stressing and worrying about it and getting game plans. So you just let them do what they want to do and go and chase them.
So you just brought up something cool that I'd love for you to break down just a little bit more, the offensive versus defensive and being aggressive. Kind of break that down for people who maybe are new to the sport of bull riding.
Yeah, well, if you're in a defensive mode, you kind of clamping down and trying just to hold what you got. And in a sport where things are happening fast and the bull's always changing up and moving, you can't be just offensive holding what you got. You got to be in a can't be in a defensive mode holding what you got. You got to be in an offensive mode, moving and attacking and going with them. And that way it keeps you moving because the bull's moving, and that keeps you going with him. And so being in an offensive mode, but at the same time being relaxed, because being relaxed stops you from clamping down and it keeps you moving. And when you're relaxed, you move and go with them.
Very cool. Very cool. So, you know, obviously you experienced last year, pandemic and all that. How nice has it been to be back around fans, and talk a little bit about the fans and what they mean to you and to the sport?
Yeah, it was crazy last year. You go to some events, there was no fans. It just felt like you were practicing at home, and it really goes to show how much the fans are important, and how much that lifts you up to want to do better and put on a show, because without any fans, there's no show. And at the end of the day, yeah, we're competing and stuff, but we're also entertainers. Like we're there to put on a show for the people coming to watch. So without them, there's no show.
Yeah.
And it's great to be back here in Vegas. It almost feels like there was no pandemic, and that's awesome. And it's great to see people out here and able to do what they want to do, and have everyone out here enjoying the NFR and the Cowboy Christmas.
So you just alluded to something that I think is super interesting, and it's the brotherhood of the sport. And I felt like there was no greater evidence of that than when I watched the team events on Ride Pass and stuff.
Yep.
Where it was like nobody.
Yeah.
It was quiet, although like you guys cheer so hard for each other.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. Why? I mean, it's an individual sport. You know, it's individual, it's man versus beast. There's not really a bad guy, and there's not really a good, you know, it's not a good versus evil kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is it about the brotherhood and the camaraderie of like being able to cheer for somebody even though they might beat you?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's a dangerous sport, as people know, and everyone that's rode knows how hard it is. Like, it's not something everybody can do and be good at. And when you in a locker room full of guys that can really ride, and you know what it takes to get a ranked bull rode, when you see guys doing that, like, that gets you fired up, and that you almost get the same feeling as when you're doing it.
Yeah.
And when you're seeing guys doing that, like I said, it fires you up, and you want to see guys do that, because then it makes you want to ride just as good and be better and go out and try and beat them, and that makes for a great show. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, cool. Well, Ky, man, it's been awesome having you here.
Thank you.
And obviously continued luck over the next couple of events, praying for health and safety and all those things as well.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, whether it be to your fans, particularly fans of the sport in general, or just anything else that you'd like to add?
Any young kids out there wanting to ride or that are riding, don't ever limit yourself or set your goals too short. Always shoot for the top and don't look back. So
That's awesome. That's a great message. So again, thank you so much for being here. I know we've been trying to get this scheduled for a while, so I'm glad we were able to get this done. And thank all y'all for listening. Ky, where can people find you on social media so they can follow along with what all you got?
I'm on Instagram, Ky Hamilton, and then also on Facebook. I got a page they can like, and I got all my rides and stuff on there too, and what I'm doing.
That's great, Ky. Y'all be sure and check out his pages. And also follow along with us on social media at Tough Draw and at Tough Draw Talks for more episodes of our podcast as we continue to bring y'all closer to the rodeo community. Until next time, everyone, enjoy the ride.